When I was 20 years old, I had the opportunity to study in Paris. And my studies of the French language took me there. So I spent 4 months in Paris and I studied French. I took French classes when I was there, but I also worked for a fashion company. I worked for a designer whose name is Paul Smith, and it was incredible. The best way to describe that experience is the movie The Devil Wears Prada. That was honestly my life in Paris. And the fashion industry is very intense, especially in Paris. It's such a huge city of fashion. And I worked in a press house and I had a bunch of runway clothes. So I would pull different outfits for models to wear for photo shoots. So we would have all of these famous magazines call, like Vogue and Elle, and they would call and they would need outfits from our designer. So I would package up the outfits and send them to the magazines. That was my job. And it was so much fun, very intense, just because the people in the fashion industry are very intense. But I loved it. And Paris is such a artistic, romantic place to be that it was so much fun. And it was also the biggest challenge that I had at that point in my life because everything was in French. So it was entirely in a different language, and I was all alone in this big city by myself working at a real company where everyone speaks French. And so it was a big challenge for me, but I loved every minute.